welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend Nick. Nick is a developer, an investor, and a financial advisor. So let's talk about long-term real estate investing and using it as a platform to build wealth, right? So we talk about revenue, we talk about income, but wealth is really the key to all of success, right? They don't tax wealth. They tax revenue, they tax income, they don't tax wealth, right? And so how do we build wealth? How does that work? What's the best strategy?
Well, if you're in real estate, there are many different ways, but one that I will always suggest not doing is borrowing on your real estate.
Right.
Whether it's your own home or it's an investment property of any kind, residential, retail, commercial, you don't want to do it. Interest on the loan is your enemy, number one.
Right.
Number two, for example, you have a property that's worth $1 million. It's paid for. You're wealthy. You have that.
You have wealth.
And you borrow $200,000. And then 5 years later, you go to sell that property. Well, you owe taxes on that $200,000. Many people will overlook it, spend the $200,000, and then get this monster tax bill on this money that's already gone.
Yep.
Yes, okay, maybe you invested it well. Well, maybe you didn't because you're paying interest on it.
Right.
Those factors alone just make it not worth doing.
Right.
I always advise never to borrow unless you absolutely, just never borrow, period.
So avoiding debt is definitely a good way to build wealth. Other long-term real estate strategies, what do you think?
You know, it took me 4 years in college in finance to figure out one thing: buy and hold. Doesn't matter what you buy, hold it. You know, you buy a piece of real estate, sit on it. If it's your first home and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, and then you have children, you want to move on to the next home. If you don't sell that home and you keep it rented out, build up the down payment for the next home. That's building wealth. Let the rental income pay that property off while you're paying for the home that you need or want to live in.
Right, because you're getting the equity, the appreciation. That's, again, goes to that discussion of wealth versus revenue. If you're flipping, right, you're seeing income, you're going to get taxed every time you sell one of those properties.
Every single time. At the end of the day, you know, once you've made it, so to speak, and you've built some wealth, the last real key to the puzzle is how not to pay the government or how to mitigate paying the government through tax strategies. And there are things out there that can really help you mitigate your taxes. Other things to just think about is like if you do buy something as an investment, if it's a stock. I had a client, I have a client that has, I had a grandmother who bought her a share of Disney, a share of Microsoft, a share of Apple. I think the total investment was maybe $1,000.
Right.
It's worth $15,000 today. And she just gave it to her daughter, and there it sits, and that is just building over time.
Right.
So same thing, whether it's a piece of gold or it's a bond, just set it and forget it. If you can't afford to buy it and you have to leverage it,
don't do it.
Absolutely not. You don't have to.
All right. So if someone wants some guidance, help on figuring all this stuff out, how do they reach you?
Of course. My name is Nicholas Hale, Nicholas. Last name's Hale, Hale. You can reach me on my cell phone at 310-924-9315 or Google me. I'm on LinkedIn, and there's a little financial profile.
Great. So thank you for joining me.
You bet. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We're so glad to have you.